You got your bronze and your
Happy
silver.
Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. It's Wednesday, so it's time for the Raven Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content here. It's been quite a week for Baltimore sports here, so let's go ahead. There's a lot to go over tonight. Ravens lost, Orioles out of the playoffs going on, etc. So thank all of us here as well. Live tonight on Twitch, Facebook, and obviously YouTube. So thank all of us for joining us here this week. Getting numbers more and more, almost at all platforms. We're at about 5,000 almost, if you count everybody on all platforms. So that's just awesome. The growth that we've had a lot of people reach out to it. Fantastic. Thank all of you for joining us here every week. All this at the bottom of the screen. So YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Rumble, Spotify. This will be live on that. Be live on Twitter. Not live on Twitter tonight. We'll be live on Twitter. We'll go on Twitter here around 11 o'clock here. Unless you're watching this now, obviously, at 11 o'clock. Also, too, RavenSports.company.site. The flagship is what we're starting to call it as well. Ravens hats, Orioles hats, merchandise. Yes, despite the Ravens record, people are still want to buy Ravens and Orioles hats, so that's great. Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia. If you know, you know. So thank all of you out there that are supportive of us in that endeavor. A lot of us in Winchester. That's grown also to way more than I've ever expected when I started in 2022. Way more people have reached out every week, calls and texts and messages. Hey, can you help me? So thank you for that as well. Very humble by the growth of that as well. Maryland men's basketball preview here as well. She's saying hi there. Maryland men's basketball preview. So definitely check it out here. October 26th is the preview date. Terps this starting following week. Coppin State. So Maryland going against the HBCU to go ahead and start. Buzz Williams and a whole new group as well. See Charles Harris's We Are Legal Shield. Winchester, Virginia. If you know, you know. All right.
No, I don't know. I can say something. I can tell you something. I don't know what it was.
No.
Let's get the graphic up here.
That's not a snack.
I got it on.
Those are Rachel's. Oh, yeah.
You didn't buy any?
I don't even think the StreamYard in the Google and everybody doesn't like the result of the game. Because I'm pulling up the graphic here just a little slow to pull it. Thank you all for your patience here. Management appreciates your cooperation for all your service. That's the game. That was last week. Chefs 37 over the Ravens 20. Not much here to go on as well as far as that goes. Gonna go through the game, but there's a lot more to talk about. Obviously, I usually during the season try and just go to but the game was, I don't want to say secondary, but that was just kind of a result of things that happened. Lamar 14 for 20, 147, did injure his hamstring in this one TD, one interception. Let me tell you something. I'm going to just start right off the bat. Lamar supposed to be injured, out 2 to 3 weeks, reported in the Baltimore Sun yesterday that he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. I would expect 2 to 3 weeks. I knew it was coming with Ian Rappaport today that they were going to say, well, it was week to week. No, stop it. John Harbaugh does this every time. He doesn't want people, for some reason, he thinks it's a competitive advantage for people not to think a guy's playing. He's not probably going to play. He didn't practice today. We don't know, but just knock that up. I knew that was coming, though. But Lamar, I thought this was probably his worst outing as well, but I think the injury might have had something to do with that. Derrick Henry, where was he? in this game. No Derrick Henry, really 8 carries, 42 yards. Clearly not enough. I think he's in Harbaugh's doghouse a little bit. I think he's going to have to get over it, obviously, because you got so many guys injured. But clearly not enough. No Keaton Mitchell. That's ridiculous to me. I don't know. I don't understand that at all. Why he got no Keaton Mitchell. At all in this one. Zay Flowers, I thought. Zay Flowers has been really good this season. 70 carries, 7 receptions, 74 yards. The receiving core, despite everything else, has been good. Not whatever the problems have been, the receiving core has been good. I think the tight ends have been good. The receiving core is actually, we're saying this. Can't believe we're saying this. I think this is the strength of the football team so far. They've been really good. I think all the way around. And the quarterback, obviously, which is now hurt as well. Kyle Hamilton was the last man standing. I think he was the guy. I think he's really developed as a leader. He's taking accountability for the play. He's been standing up. He's been doing the trash talking. I think Kyle Hamilton has done impressed. On the field, not great the last few weeks. I think he had 8 tackles. He had the most tackles on the field. He did miss practice today. There was 14 guys missed practice. That's crazy. 14 guys. Well, not 14. I take that back. 14 guys either limited or did not practice. I think it was 8 and 6. I'm thinking the math is right, but it was wild. Like that's insane. That's not including. That's not even including the guys that are on IR. You know, we didn't even get to Matabuke. That doesn't count. Broderick. That doesn't count. Like guys like that. So injuries are just ridiculous. KC. Yes, they were there. I didn't think any more of KC after this game. The Ravens were just not good. 25 for 37. Mahomes was good. I do think this guy, Xavier Worthy, does help them stretch the field when they actually play. And so I think that's a good thing. I think Worthy actually helps them catch the football, stretch the field. I think they really don't have anybody else to really stretch the field. I'm not as sour on the receiving group as a whole. Good, decent group of vets. You get Rashee Rice back. You got Juju there, Smith-Schuster, Marquise. It's a decent group of vets. They're not outstanding players anymore. Kelsey's not the same player, but it's a decent group of vets. That's what I think. No run game for Kansas City. Pacheco, I think, is very overrated. 7 carries, 35 yards. Tough guy, tough mentality. Gets hurt a lot. If you carry, I've seen this with him. He has a good game, and he'll get too many carries, and then he's back on the shelf. So I think that's absolutely true with him. George Karafalakis had 1 sack in this game. So I thought it just didn't matter. I mean, Ravens didn't want to play Sunday. They didn't want to play. They didn't play hard. I thought the coaching staff totally let the team down in this one. They kind of really gave up even when they did score the garbage time touchdown. They didn't go for 2. Guys were hurt. I do think the injuries of a lot of these guys did cause some of the issues that they're having. So I do think that is a real thing. I don't think that's not a real thing. I do think it is. I do think that's something. But you got to want to play football. And they go into Kansas City. I don't think they got over the Monday night game. And then they're playing a team they haven't had any success with, and they didn't do anything. And so that's the way, to me, that's the name of that tune. I think that's the way that went. So 37-20. I ain't got much else for you there. A lot of injuries the Ravens have. We'll go over that as well, because we got a game here this week as well. Texans 1-3. So both of these teams, like as we thought at the beginning of the year, these 2 teams would be the 2 best teams in their division, and 2 of the teams fighting position for the AFC Championship as well. And both teams have really, really struggled out of the gate. 1-3 Ravens, lots of injuries. So same with the Texans. I mean, the Texans, we're so focused on our injuries. Texans had way more than we thought. CJ Stroud. I'm not as hard on Stroud as other people are. I'm really not. I think he's not been good on the road. It's weird. He plays in Houston. I think he looks like this outstanding all-world quarterback. And when he goes on the road like he's going to be this week, he struggles. He struggles last week. He struggles at times. He seems to have a different level of confidence when he's playing differently on the road as well. Woody Marks, rookie from USC. So this guy has blazing speed. Joe Mixon was there, as we know. I don't think Joe Mixon's going to play for them at all this year. So that's going to be a thing where Joe Mixon is going to go ahead, and they're probably not going to have him. So you might as well take a look at Woody Marks. Small, quick between the tackles, similar to the guy with us that's not playing. Like if you have that, it's like Keaton Mitchell as well. Nico Collins is clearly the best receiver as well. 18 for 260, 260 yards total, 2 touchdowns. Keaton Mitchell, got Keaton Mitchell in there. Nico Collins. They don't have. He's been injured this week as well, and I think he's probably he's going to be facing double teams a lot. Whoever corners out there can make it as well. Now the Ravens corners are maybe a little bit healthier in this game. Defensively, they're good. Again, another guy who missed practice, Will Anderson, didn't play well. But these guys are phenomenal. I think this is probably any team that plays the Ravens in their offensive line the way it has looked is they got to be licking their chops. Will Anderson with 3 sacks. Daniel Hunter, I think, is one of the most underrated, really, really good players in the league. Bounced around to several teams, but he's been good wherever he's been. I mean, I can't think of a spot that he's been where he hasn't played well. Played well in Minnesota, played well wherever he's been. So that's going to be a problem, especially since, again, more injuries. You may not have Ronnie Stanley on Sunday. You may not have, you're having all those issues with Voorhees and Falele. I'm not going to beat them down anymore. They're not. Yeah, we are. I mean, we already know. Cooper Rush should be getting his first Ravens start, despite the issues everybody's saying what Lamar might play. I doubt seriously Lamar's going to play. Cooper Rush is going to probably be the starter in this game. I would suspect he's probably going to start until the bye. So after next week's game with the Rams, you're going to get a bye. They're probably looking at it that way. Okay, let's get through the bye and get through that. You're going to have to do more with Derrick Henry. You're going to have to. All that doghouse stuff has got to stop. You got to feed him the rock in this game. Not as much traditional RPO like we've been seeing. You're not going to be able to do that. So you're going to have to do that in this game as well. Zay Flowers also in this game. 23 receptions, 305, 1 TD. Zay Flowers has been terrific. This whole receiving core been very impressive all year long. Now, despite that, you got no Lamar Jackson probably in this game. So can they do some of the same things for Cooper Rush as they've done for Lamar? My concern that they can't is not the way they've been playing, is the offensive line. Lamar, they're going to have to run the ball and protect the play action more in this game as well. But Zay's been good. I think the whole receiving core has been good. Rashad Bateman in that game, nobody talked about a terrific catch he made in here. Rashad hasn't been getting the opportunities, but he's been spot on when he's had them. I see something like maybe just 1 or 2 catches, but he is really getting good catches as well. We know Kyle Hamilton's going to play, but there's going to be so many injuries. We know the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen aren't going to play. Matabuke, Washington out. Travis Jones, maybe he back in practice today, limited as well. Van Noy back as well at practice. You're not going to have Roquan. Probably Trent Simpson, Trey Buchanan. Eric Kendricks, they worked out yesterday. He's not going to sign. He didn't want to be on the practice squad. I kind of get that. Like, if you're not going to name me a starter, some guys are like that. They're just going to go home. So, oh, no, we're going to use practice. No. He said, I'm out. Well, I don't know if he's going to get better than that, but I get the thinking at least. Other side, Owe needs to step up. He should play. I don't think he's injured as well. Jair Alexander, I didn't see him on the practice squad, but he's on practice report missing practice, so he should be good to go. He's been practicing. Close to good to go. Marlon, I don't think you'll have. We still don't know yet about Nate Wiggins as well. Hamilton missed practice again today too, but I think he'll probably play from that. So a lot of injuries on the Ravens defense. Defense, obviously, statistically, just flat awful. 31st in the league, I think, total bad. You got to get a ball to Derrick Henry. You don't have a choice. You got to, whatever the problem is, my suggestions also would be to go ahead and get Keaton Mitchell more involved, and just you got to lean on your run more. You got to try a little bit harder here. Lean on your run as well. You guys going to win this game. I think I'm picking the Texans because even though they can't score. And Kenny in the comments, my man Kenny here, always watching the street too. I don't blame anybody for picking the Texans in this game. Ravens got 14 guys out. X Factor on defense, Zach Orr. Check out the Ravens Collective. I did watch Bobby Trossett and Jeff Schrebeck last night and Cole Jackson on their podcast. He said, I thought it was weird. They kind of cleared something up for me because he kind of came out publicly this week and was really critical of the offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, which seemed insane. Why would you come out and criticize Todd Monken? His passing game is the only thing you have. And they kind of came, and I'm paraphrasing exactly what they said, okay? But it was to protect Zach Orr. That kind of makes some sense because the defense has been awful. He didn't want to go out there and beat up Zach Orr, so he's kind of in some ways protecting Zach Orr. Protecting Zach Orr by saying things about Monken, criticizing with Monken as well. Niners fan. Hanging there, we got Brock, Kittle, Purcell, Jenkins, and Jennings all injured. Purcell's injured? I didn't know that one. Brock Purdy just came back too. So Niners and the Ravens are two potentially teams that always have injuries as well. So you just got to make it through. Next man up. You find out in times and things that go bad in life in general. You find out who your friends are. You find out who the real fans are. You find out you find out all these things in times like this. So when you have things like this go on, that's what happens. We'll see. Somebody said on the open mic, get right game for us. I don't know about that. This is a lot to overcome. When you have this many players out, and some of the guys were struggling, I think some of it was too because they weren't right physically. It makes sense. Roquan Smith didn't look right in some of these games. Ronnie Stanley didn't look right some of these games. So now the hope is you get one of these, at least you get back healthy, you can possibly get back on track. Because the Ravens aren't the only teams with problems. The Texans is, here as well. They're 1-3 struggling, and they have a lot of injuries now too. I mean, I looked at their report and Stingley, Jackson, Nico Collins, I mean, I'm not as bad as the Ravens, but we'll see. All right, so there you go. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong channel. Watch the game. So, there you go. Go ahead and check that out. Do I blame Yeah. I do. I think the team. I saw a couple of people say the players quit on him. I think the coaching staff quit on the team Sunday. There's no question about it. They were unprepared. I don't think their mind right was ready for the game. I don't think they were ready to play. I don't think the team. I don't think the coaching staff had them ready to play. The players didn't play well, but mentally, I don't think the loss on Monday, they got it right. And they were going to the absolute wrong place to go ahead and get it right. Good luck this week. I think I'm going with the Texas D. I don't blame you. Because there's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Lamar Jackson there at all. All right. So let's talk about the rest of the league here. So Big Five is what we're going to talk about this week. 5 biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games. We're definitely going to go ahead and go over that. Five biggest games on the schedule that are coming up that are not for the Baltimore Ravens. So we're definitely absolutely check that out here this week as well. Last week, we had a tie for the first time in forever. So the Cowboys and the Pack actually had a tie, 40-40 as well. I don't know why people think the Cowboys are any good still. I'm still a little lost on that, why people actually think that. I'm sorry. Why people think the Cowboys are actually any good. I just don't think that. They can score. I think they're good offensively. They're decent enough offensively. There's enough there. Their defense is terrible. Like they're not going to stop good offense. I think, but they're kind of surviving in the shootouts. But I'm not uber impressed with Dallas. Vikings and the Squealers. Squealers actually get their third win. They got the best quarterback in the division right now. I mean, certainly Aaron Rodgers may be retiring after this year. He's doing what they wanted. He's not all world. He's getting there ready to go. He's winning. He's beating the bad teams. They had a tough time. Wentz, you're going to get what you're going to get. He was decent enough, I thought in this game, but you're going to get what you're going to get. The Commanders definitely have to have Jaden Daniels back. If he can't, he can't keep missing games. Penix, I thought, looked good, as good as I've ever seen him look in the NFL when I was watching this game. 20 of 26, 312 yards as well. That's about as good as I've ever seen him look in the NFL. And the Commanders, Mariota is good at times. I think he's a decent backup, but clearly without him, without Jaden Daniels, that's clearly definitely a problem. Eagles, I got no problem with the Eagles. I think some people got this beef, like because you're the best team, you're supposed to win every game by 40 points. That's just not going to happen. Thank you, sir. That you're going to win every game by 30 points. You're not going to. You are going to win some games, and they're going to be close, and that's just how it's going to be. So that is absolutely going to happen. So when you have that, so we'll see about that. So we got Packers. Bucks are the real deal. Bucks are no question. If the Bucks are good, the Bucks there's no doubt about it that the Bucks are serious. And Kyler Murray, I'm just about done. I can't. This guy just doesn't have it. With all the talent he has, he should be the best quarterback in that division, especially with that. I just can't. I just can't. It's Kyler Murray. All right. 49ers. There you go, Kenny. We're talking about the 49ers and the Rams. So Kenny just talked about here in the chat the issues that the Niners are having. Maybe no Brock Purdy, no Kittle, etc. I would say this. Despite of this, their record is still good. They have hung in there despite of that. That shows well of Kyle Shanahan. That shows well of the organization. That shows well of them. I believe that's just not going to be enough against a Rams team who I think is the best team maybe in the NFC, not named the Eagles as well. Puka Nacua is just playing out of his mind. I think he's probably, you could argue right now, he's the best receiver in the NFL. Stafford is, despite his age, I think he's been hot really at the start. Their young defense is really good. I think it should give some problems. But the Niners are staying competitive. Defensively, they've been impressive. But I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. It should be close, but we will see there as well. Seahawks and the Bucks. So Sam Darnold's been solid for them. I think they're getting exactly what they hoped for in Seattle. We know with Mike McDonald there, the defense is going to be solid. We know that, and so I think they're trending up in the AFC West because that might be they're trying to make it their division as well. Their offense at times I think is better than it gets credit for. It's not great per se, but I think it's better than it gets credit for. So I do think there is something there with the Seahawks. As far as the offense, Bucks, I got nothing but respect for them. They've had a tough schedule. I think we've had Bucks games every week, and their schedule is good. They aren't going to have Mike Evans here the next few weeks. That's not going to help them. But Baker Mayfield, I think, is – you could argue he's the best gamer in the league. Love watching Baker Mayfield these days. Tough, sturdy. He maximizes every bit of his physical ability. Just he's gotten to be a really smart, efficient quarterback. Defensively, I think that's the Bucs are a little inconsistent, and I think there aren't too many. Home field is a bit overrated in 2025, but I think one place it does exist still is in Seattle. There's going to be a lot of Pirates and all that stuff in Seattle. I like the Seahawks. So two teams that are good teams, but they're really fighting injuries when you talk about the Commanders and the Chargers. So Chargers off to the good start, no question about it. Chargers have played well here at the start, but they're missing a lot of guys here all of a sudden. So you look at their injury report, you know about Slater, they're missing. So can they hold it together and have some guys, whatever, they're interesting. And the Commanders, look, if you don't get Jaden Daniels back, it's not going to work. Defensively, you're not as good as you've been either. You've really regressed a little bit on defense. Their defense is giving up points now every week. Atlanta is not a great offense, and Michael Penix had a sensational day against them last week. So they need to step up a bit on defense. I still like the Chargers here as well. I don't know for sure if Commanders playing, but even if he does, they still have Herbert, who's off to a good start. Eagles and the Broncos. Broncos are looking a little bit more like what we saw last year as well. They're strong defensively. We know, at least in the last few weeks, but they're playing, I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. I think Hurts. It's confusing to me what A.J. Brown is beefing about. I just truly don't get. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what he's confused about. Why does he? I understand, but he's like the one of the highest paid receivers in the league. He's clearly the number one receiver. He's clearly a great receiver. He clearly has the respect of his quarterback as her. I don't get why he's. I'm just missing why he's upset. That being said, I do like him at home. I do think these games close to the vests are going to catch up to the Eagles, though, a bit. But I don't think it happens this week. Knicks, I think, was better last week. I don't think he plays as well against a good Eagles defense here. One more, the Chiefs and the Jags as well. Jags now in front in the AFC South, and the Chiefs are now, I think, looking the position. I think they probably winning last week against the Ravens. Really, if they'd lost last week, that'd have been big time. This is interesting because I'm still not sold on Kansas City. Kansas City has, I think, issues. They're just not the same team we remember years ago. This is a team with issues. This is a team that has some stuff, has a few issues, right? So I do think that's a thing in Kansas City. I do think that's a thing. The Jags, I'm getting sold on the Jags. I think Lawrence has been decent enough this year. They certainly can win this division. I mean, this division isn't that. I don't know if they're ready to win a game like this, though. I don't know. I don't know if they're ready to win a game like this. The defense has been better, I think, better than it was. I mean, it couldn't have been worse. I mean, they were just absolutely horrible last year as well. They have Brian Thomas has been fantastic for them. ETN has been good for them. So I'm still not completely sold, I guess, but I do think there's something there. I do think they don't beat the Chiefs yet. The Chiefs know how to win a game like this. I don't think the Jags score enough points to beat Kansas City. You got to horse race a little bit. If you have a really good quarterback like like Los Angeles Chargers, like the Rams, and you can horse race them, you're gonna. But I'm not sure if they have that. Still not sure about the Jags, so I'm taking the Chiefs. There you go. Big Five. 5 biggest games on the schedule that are not. All right. So there you go. 5 biggest schedule games that are not Ravens games. Definitely check it out and enjoy all the games. College football is back in College Park this week. The Washington Huskies visit Maryland as well this week. So the Terps back in action, 4-0. So good for the Terps here, getting the job done in their first 4 games, having a bye week last week. So we get to see their young quarterback in action, Malik Washington now. People now are starting to realize who he is. Some argument whether he's the best freshman quarterback in the Big Ten, better than Bryce Underwood, rather. Don't know yet. We'll see. Huskies, I did watch them last week against Ohio State. I think they just weren't ready for prime time yet, playing a good team like Ohio State. They also too have a really talented young quarterback. I think Desmond Williams, sophomore. He's been really good this year, but he really was quiet in that game. Really didn't produce a lot as well. But I think anybody would struggle against the Ohio State defense as well. So this is a really good litmus for the Terps. What level are you actually at? Was impressive, their last win against Wisconsin. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do when they actually go play a team with the talent of the Washington Huskies there as well. So definitely, absolutely check that out. Saturday is the game when we're going to go ahead and do that as well. Which channel is it? Big Ten Network at 3:30 is when the game is going to be on. So Big Ten Network is in the Fox Network as well. For those of you that don't know that, that is going to be on the Fox One app, which is nice, by the way. You're gonna got that. It's a lot of good stuff. If you like sports, definitely if you watch the Fox One app, if you went ahead and get that. All right. No. Did it again.
Wow. Right.
There we go. This is the final, obviously, Orioles recap of the season. The season is now over. So Burberry Sports is going to go into our off-season content. So this is the last week where we're going to be talking, obviously, about the regular season, since the regular season just ended, and now we are in the MLB playoffs that are going on right now. Good stuff, too. 1-1 in the early games. What's going on with the Yankees? Right now, it was 2-2 when I saw it earlier, so as well. So we will go ahead and keep you updated on that. Yankee 3-3 right now, going on in the 8th inning. So go ahead, Yankees. Always beat the Yankees. All right, so let's go ahead and recap it for the last time during the regular season. This is how it ended up: 75-87 for the Orioles. Won their last 3 out of 10 as well. Finished 5th in the AL East. For those of you confused, that's last place. So, how'd the batting order look for most of September? Jackson Holiday, I think, definitely secured himself in the leadoff spot. I don't think he was great in the last stretch as well. I think he's like to see a little more consistently higher average from him, but he's still so young, 21, 22 years old. Bat speed is incredible. I think he's gotten really, really good at second base. I think the sky's the limit, I think, for Jackson Holiday. I don't know. He's so small. I don't know if he's ever going to be a thunderous power hitter, 30 plus 30. I think that's a bit of projection. But to have him as a leadoff hitter of the future, absolutely no problem at all with that. Jeremiah Jackson, I think, has certainly put himself in the conversation for your 3rd or 4th outfielder next season. The way he looks. His bat speed is very impressive. His defense is a little shaky. I think some people are a little hyperbolic hard on him about it. It's just a little green. I think that's the concern with him. He's a little green. I think his offense is I think, just a little bit green. I think that's an issue there as well. Gunnar Henderson, I think, I think is really good. As a whole, I thought his season was overall disappointing. I think people kept saying that, well, it was no, you got he's 17 home runs. He did hit a home run on the last day. That's not what we're looking for. He needs to be the guy. That's the guy. You gotta produce to say produce like Judge isn't fair or whatever, but 30 home runs, 100 RBI like Bobby Witt is fair. Like a lender. That's what we needed. He did produce some. I mean, not terrible. His average was decent, but still not what we're looking for. His batting average was solid. He did on some runs. Tyler O'Neill, you got almost nothing. I mean, he was hurt most of the year. This is kind of was the concern with him. Like, he was good in 2024, and he was injured all last year. Kelton Cowser, I don't know why anybody's complaining about the glove. I mean, I thought he was fantastic at center field. He's not as good as Cedric Mullins, but that's it. I mean, I love the way he plays. I think that's the only problem I have with Mullins. You got to stop running into walls. You got to stop diving into all. You got to stop going crazy in the bit. You got to stop. He's banged up a lot. That's the only problem that I have with him. He hits for power. I mean, he hit a lot. He hit home runs, considering the fact that he missed a lot of games. Mountie, it'll be interesting to see what happens to him in the offseason. Mountie just wasn't as productive as they had hoped. I think nobody really asked in the presser. We'll get to the presser about Mountie, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with Mountcastle in the off season. I do think there is a team that would take him. I think there's some value in him. I think he's definitely a major leaguer, but I don't know what the role is going to be for Mountie as well. Could be the favorite for AL Rookie of the Year 2026, and that is Samuel Basallo. Average wasn't great. Don't care. Good start. Again, hitting home runs. I mean, he limited action. He did play. Dylan Beavers, I thought, was terrific. I thought Dylan Beavers, I thought he cooled down the stretch here, but Dylan Beavers, I think, definitely has to be in consideration for definitely a starting spot in 2026. We'll see how it goes in the offseason. And Kobe Mayo, you know what? This guy hits for power. He had more home runs than Mount Castle. Think about it. He had 10 more than Mount Castle's, I think 7 or 8. I think it's 8. And he only really played half the season. Hit for power. I mean, I thought his average too would improved as he went. So that's all encouraging. When a guy plays every day, they get better. So that's the thing. Injuries and bench. I don't know if I have this right. Adley came back the last week and played. Yeah, we'll get to Adley. Gary Sanchez didn't. Again, another guy here, kind of like Tyler Neal. Injuries. You see a lot of him on the shelf. Mateo really didn't play much at all at short. At the end, played a little bit in the outfield. Westberg, I thought, was fantastic. Westberg came back in the last few weeks. I would say Jackson played most of the third in April when I looked at it. I said this. Westberg, again, just got to keep him healthy. Kind of put him in the same category with Gauser. He's going to be productive enough if he can actually play 162. Dylan Carlson, decent enough backup, good fielder, streaky, good offensive times as well. Zach Eflin and Felix Bautista, we don't know if we'll ever see them out there again. Bautista probably going to miss all of next season, or if not most. Zach Eflin out for free agency, didn't pitch at the end there. Albert Suarez, I just kind of hoping Suarez would at least make it to the end of the season. That didn't happen and got on IL again. Luis Vasquez, Alex Jackson. Alex Jackson, I think, was a pleasant surprise. I think Alex Jackson actually, I think they'll never admit this. They had no intention of keeping him at all. And he actually became a really good outfielder. Grayson Rodriguez, I thought, was really good in 2022. Grayson, we don't know anything about Grayson. That was bizarre that he never pitched and he wasn't even rehabbing as well. Brandon Young tried his best with injury. Interesting to see what the future holds for Grayson as well. Rotation. Trevor Rogers, look at that ERA, 1.81, and that includes the last start where he got just hosed by the Yankees. So finally he had a bad start. Fantastic. Clearly to me, he's your number one pitcher for next year as well. Wasn't as good maybe in his last 2 starts. I think maybe he was getting a little tired because they definitely used him. I think he's going late. But that's definitely the case. Dean Kramer won the most games. He had 11 wins, 11-10, 4.19 ERA, pitched in the last game. Kramer will be back. Kramer is probably the most reliable guy. I mean, he's been the one to actually stay off of IL a lot of the season and actually give you innings. So as well, not elite by any stretch, but put him in a rotation. I think it's a problem. Sagano, I think, wants to pitch in the majors next year. I think he will. I don't think it'll be Baltimore. We'll see unless he wants to go ahead and do that. I doubt seriously they give him the kind of money that he's asking again. We will see. Povich, I think, just is not a major league starter. I think he's a 4A guy or a bullpen guy. They've given Cody Povich, I think, several chances. I think he had a pretty good chance this year, and he just really struggled too many nights as well. Has some good starts, but I just don't think he's an elite guy. His stuff isn't elite. And Kyle Bradish, I think it was just a victory getting him on the field at all this year. I think getting Bradish there as well, I thought was a victory in and of itself. Clearly, he's going to be your 2. They're going to view him as the 2 or 1 starter, depending on what happens in the offseason, if you sign a Dylan Cease, etc. Bullpen needs to totally be redone. Aiken, I thought, was probably wound up with 8 saves. If there is somebody I would think that's coming here, that's gonna stay in 20. It's gonna be Keegan Aiken. I would think. But they're going to have to bring him, I guess. Cano, I'm not sure he's going to be promised anything this year. Ends, I think, improved. I think it was a good enough signing, I think, considering the circumstances as well. Suarez, I don't know if he can stay healthy. I think that's a thing. Wolfram, I'm not even sure he finished the league on the team. I tell you, 2 guys that were good. K. Stroud, I thought, that's a guy you also got to look at. K. Stroud was pretty good. 1.71 ERA. I think he was good in high leverage situations. So you definitely got to look at bringing a K. Stroud back as well. Rico Garcia, decent enough. I thought he finished strong. I don't think he was always good. I worry about his command a little bit. Just a little bit. I think in general. But I thought he finished strong. So there you go. That's our season. As far as the Orioles go, September. So Orioles just not very good in September. I mean, it just you just yeah, I mean, you'll mostly not good. Not good most of this season, and so that's what it's. We'll talk about Michael Elias here. We're going to get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Last Orioles report, last couple of games. We had 4 more games since the last time we had a podcast. Designated Robert Hamill for assignment, as well Carson Ragsdale off waivers from Atlanta, optioned him to FCL. Saturday, Dietrich Enns was placed on the maternity list, optioned Cade Povich to FCL Florida Complex. That's Florida Complex League, which is over. So at this point, last week, they can't send guys to Norfolk, whatever. They've stopped playing. So they just go ahead and just, okay, you're going to Florida Complex League. And Grant Wortham from Norfolk, and also Carson Ragsdale from PCL. That happened on Saturday. Orioles did not have somebody hit 20 home runs. Didn't have somebody hit 19 home runs. They had 3 tied for 17. Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westberg, Jackson Holiday. Henderson and Westberg called them on the last day of the Yankees as well, both hitting home runs back-to-back. Those are the last 2 runs of the season, and they tied for the team lead with 17 as well. Got to have more from Gunnar. Westberg, I think, would have hit more. I think had he been healthy. I think that's the secret with him. And Jackson Holiday, I think the best is yet to come. I think very happy with him overall. He can build on that. He did struggle a lot at the end. So, again, I think sometimes when you have a young guy like that, you wonder why he's played more baseball than he ever has at that point. So I think that factored in a lot. Orioles tied the Major League record for players used in a single season. Saturday's relief appearance by Joseph Espada, I think I'm saying it right, on a minor league contract, got them up to 70 players. So think about it. You have a 25-man roster. Certain games you can use 26. So like if you have a doubleheader, you could call a guy up. You used 70 guys. So you did it 3 times. That's insanity that you have that many guys that you used. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy that you have 70 guys. That's how many injuries you had. I thought the way they used the bullpen was ridiculous. They have no conception of keeping guys and getting bullpen guys right. They immediately sent them down. Some of them pitched well when they were sent down. This has got to change the way you do the roster. You're just burning through guys, whatever, and just bringing them in. Some of that was injury, but some of it was they didn't manage this great. But that's 70 guys. So they did get the Major League record of 70. That's crazy. Dylan Beavers homered on the first pitch of the 9th inning of giving the Baltimore 6-5 win in the Tampa Bay Rays in the home finale last Thursday. That was the Orioles' last win of the season. I think the best is yet to come. So I think Beavers was fantastic down the stretch. I think he's got a lot of potential to do a lot of good things as well. This guy's worked his way. This guy wasn't up until this year a top 100 prospect anywhere, right? He was just good in the minors, great speed, kind of seen as so. He's kind of worked his way. He hit very well when he started, so he's definitely worked his way. It'll be interesting to see. We know how much they like those outfields. You have Ike Irish. We'll go over the prospects and all that, where he factors in 2026. Interesting to see. The Michael Elias press conference. Yeah. I watched it, so you didn't have to. I watched all 43 minutes of the Michael Elias press conference. I'm going to summarize this, but let's go. Orioles end of year press conference. the one thing he did was say he's going to search for a manager as soon as possible. The current interim manager, Tony Manley, will be considered. This guy gives a lot of word salad. A lot of word salad. That's the main takeaway I took away from that. It's definitely on the Ravery Sports Twitter page. It's on the Ravery Sports face, so definitely check it out if you haven't seen the whole Michael Ash press conference as well. But a lot of word salad. I didn't learn much. This guy is enormously political. And I understand that somebody's going to say to me, "What is the GM?" Well, this guy really, really is. Like, he for GM status. My goodness. He did say with urgency, I will say, that they're looking for a manager right now. I think some of them, it could be Tony Manzolino. I don't know if it is, but they did bring him out. He did have his own press conference. I do think that's something. I mean, I think, like, why even bother doing it? But he did summarize the team, and he did a decent job, I think, as manager. I think you could you do better? I think it'll be interesting, but I think it's worth consideration for sure. I think, like, if that's the way it actually went, I wouldn't be super angry about that as well. On the pitching, Michael said he wants to add a top of rotation starter to complement a slide ahead of Kyle Bradish and Trevor Rogers. I think that's obvious. I think definitely Dylan Cease could be finally on the menu for the Orioles. I think definitely he's a guy pitching in San Diego. They looked at. I think they spent a lot of time scouting it out and saying that if they can bring him here, if they're going to spend their resources, again, you never know what the resources are. But I don't think you need 4 or 5 stars. I think you're looking for one. I think maybe 2 if you could get. I wouldn't shock me if they brought in 2, but to get 1 starter, I think that's not a lot to ask. I think that's definitely possible with that. So definitely, I think Cease could be a guy they're looking at. Specific players on the roster. He reaffirmed that Ali Rushing will remain the team's primary cursor, dismissing the trade rumors, and said Heston Kjerstad has been dealing with a medical issue. Kjerstad, real quick. I think, again, he didn't say anything that a lot of us didn't know. Kjerstad has a weird medical condition that cost him a couple years even before his prospect status, where he was injured. It seems to be that maybe this is back again, that's the issue, why he was struggling, and et cetera. He didn't elaborate with that. What's Michael Lodge, and also medical issues, you got to be careful, like HIPAA and laws and things like that. So I think that's some of why he couldn't elaborate as well. The Adley, I don't buy that. That doesn't make any sense. Will Adley remain the primary catcher? I think he's trying to raise the trade value as well. Well, some weeks he could play at first base. Again, non-committal, of course, to that. But I think he didn't want to just come out and say that he's trading Adley as well. Hard to get a read on, but I definitely, that's what he said. You know, I got to go by that. Told him to utilize, he's talking about Tony Manzolino. Told him we're going to utilize the chair to talk to other people and see who is available as well. So, talking about Tony Manzolino, I definitely think they're going to have a manager search. Dave Ross, Buck Britton, etc. I think you're going to have one pretty soon here. I don't think this is going to drag on too long. That was the one thing I did get the urgency for him to go ahead and hire a manager pretty soon. He's going to look for the best candidate and hire several candidates. Michael Elias, quietly promoted from executive PP general manager to president of baseball operations. Team did not make a public announcement at that time. So it just slipped your mind, Mike, that you just forgot to tell us that, right? This is kind of what I mean with Michael. It's so, like, why would he not disclose that? Why would not disclose the fact that you might hire a GM to work under him? Why at no point? And it's just so quietly, like, we're in the middle of the season, and we're just okay. Well, we're not disclosing the fact that okay, well, we're gonna hire a GM. Well, we're gonna come on, man. Just nobody, and I'm surprised nobody pressed him on it at the pressure. Shame on y'all. Like you should look, man. You didn't say anything about that. Now he did also say that he was not necessarily going to hire a GM right away. He was going to hire the manager first, and so he might have. That might mean he has somebody specific in mind that he wants. There might be an assistant GM or somebody he likes to hire as a GM, etc. But that's insane. He just forgot to tell everybody, that you got hired as a manager. Michael Elias delivered his usual word salad to adapt to conducting, adapt and evolve while conducting a holistic evaluation of the organization, deliberate yet aggressive to help the club fit in 2025. This guy's just got word salad. This guy's just got word salad. He doesn't like. This is what you see in business a lot nowadays for 2025. We used to have guys, to use like pro wrestling example, like a Vince McMahon. He runs his company out front in public and to promote it, whatever. And now, like more now in business, you see guys like Michael Elias. Like he didn't learn nothing. Like he didn't even hint anything. So that's the way it is. No David Rubenstein there. I don't understand. Gunnar Henderson finished strong. Kobe Mayo, Kate Stroud. I thought they were good at the end. Gunnar with the home run as well. Trevor Rogers finally had a bad start. Tyler O'Neill, Colton Cowser. I think they're kind of stuck with O'Neill for 2025. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see that. Jordan Westberg is the player of the week for the last week. I thought Westy was really good the last 4 times. I thought he was probably their most consistent hitter. Westy, I think you just need to get him healthy for the whole season as well. So what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to go ahead and watch some MLB playoffs as well. I'm getting my streams together for all the streaming platforms right now. 3 to 4. Yankees are in front in the top of the 9th, so we will go ahead and do that. We're going to have some good division series games. We're going to talk all about the MLB playoffs as well. Super Bowl outstanding yesterday in the Tigers. It's time for the play. I watch the playoffs. I love baseball. I'm a big baseball guy, so we're definitely going to watch as we get to the Fall Classic. Thank you very much for joining us this week on the Ravery Sports Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your day.